Nigeria's power today comes mainly from the thermal and hydro. The thermal is actually 89%. So as we're having the issues with gas, coming from the challenges around the sector, from the oil theft, the vandalization, it's affected the business and affected that sector.
Our oil sector, you will have identified the problem. Today, there's artificial intelligence, there's technology that can censor those areas of interventions, illegal interventions. Metering is another thing. Reform that is so critical. To me, having been in that industry before.
The economy can only function when you have a united, peaceful country, and you have a secure country, and you have an inclusion, sense of inclusion, in the administration. And then, of course, when we identified the economy, we now said, of course, and the private sector will lead, as far as the growth of the economy is concerned. We will.
Just following up on that point, what sort of key outputs in the first 100 to 200 days? So if we're looking at specific outputs that would come out, I mean, you've laid a very important one, which is a good team.
Okay, let me tell you, take the case of multiple exchange rates. We intend to address that, to make sure that we have, a stable exchange rate regime, which will eliminate multiple exchange rates.
I have a quick comment and a question. The leadership framework that you described, competence, capacity, I would like to add another C, which is courage, because it requires courage to push through the necessary reforms to move Nigeria forward. Now to my question. Given how jarring the data we've seen are, I've also read through your manifesto, but I also know that in your campaign you use a lot of data points to buttress your point. What would be the top 5 quantitative performance indicators by which Nigerians, if you are given the opportunity to lead this country, should judge your administration?
And thank God they said it's the best manifesto among the others. So, because, I've served. There are things inside there that nobody's seeing. Because people live off that confusion. This thing you see, people live off it.
I spent over 3 hours watching the full video, but I just had to slice excerpt of it for you to see, and then the other part of it that you're going to see. I want Nigerians to take out time this time, irrespective of your tribe, your religion, your political affiliation, your political preference. Take our time to watch these 3 top candidates for the 2023 general elections again and make the right decision. I will not even sell anybody. I'm sure 3 of them will be able to sell themselves. So, and then you will not pick which of them. Watch these videos again, over and over again. Listen to them, watch the questions that were asked, watch how they answer the questions, and decide by yourself if any of them that you have chosen deserves your vote, considering where we are as a nation and where we want to be. Again and again, I'm asking, use an open mind, irrespective of who you have chosen before now. Watch this video again, everything in totality, then make their decision. I would also encourage that you also make your opinion count. You can drop in the comment section your best ideology, the best candidate that you want to vote, or the person that spoke your mind, or the issues that were said that maybe that were right, or the ones that were wrong. Let's have a matured nationalistic debate in the comment section. I'll be there reading your comments. I also want to also buttress, if you think there are ways that some of these things were not said rightly, you think there are best ways, you are exposed, educated enough. Let's have a matured nationalistic. Let's again not forget that it's about this country, not about you, not about your tribe or your religion, not about the zone you come from. If you really love this country, let's have a debate in the comment section as this video is going on. Thank you. And please share this video. Share it as far as possible. Let Nigerians have a chance to rethinking their thoughts, rethinking their voting pattern, and decide who is qualified enough to lead in this country. Let this video go viral as possible, and I trust that you make the right decision. God bless Nigeria, even as God bless you.
I would stand on existing protocol. My name is Frank Aibogun. I'm a director of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. You alluded to the global economic crisis, and I agree that to a large extent, it serves to impact local economies around the world. But when I look around today, the greatest problems that we face, you could say, are self-inflicted, very disentangled from what is happening around the world. In a crisis, some people suffer and some benefit. In this crisis, it's for Nigeria to benefit, but we are suffering, without any question. And I like the point you have made about being part of also Condescent and the role you played in Mobile. And I wanted to just ask you, increasingly I hear that people in government see IOCs and others in the business as privileged people. In fact, a senior government official asked the IOCs, if you are complaining so much, why are you still in Nigeria? The truth of the matter is, it is only their body we see, their soul is gone. There is absolute, and I'm sure you know more than I do. What would you do in terms of attitude change? Would your priority be to re-attract private capital from the IOCs back to Nigeria? Because it has little to do with energy transition. Those companies that are leaving Nigeria today, every day we see them set up operational base, sometimes in Africa, and if for gas, mostly in Guyana. So I ask, what would your attitude be to attracting investment from IOCs? And I'm talking about energy, and that's all I'm going to talk about. The other question will be, Olokola LNG and Brass LNG, I was told recently by a diplomat that if we had prosecuted both projects, today Nigeria would be earning $500 million weekly from exporting gas. What would be your attitude to that? Again, to energy. Nigeria has proven reserve of gas, 200 TCF. Russia has 300 TCF. So if you like, we are 66% of Russia. Russia earns $800 to $1 billion selling gas every day to its enemies in Europe, not friends. So we should be selling on a daily basis $600 million from gas. That has nothing to do with global crisis. It is a proper Nigerian failure. What would you do to turn around Nigeria's energy prospects? Thank you, sir.
Compound question. Let me treat this in the best way possible. First of all, look at the stack of the model arrangement we had when there was oil and gas scarcity around the world. Isn't it? We were the king. Even our leaders boasted then that money is not a problem, it's only how to spend it. Now you are broke. So you own 60% of both the gas and the crude on the ground. 60%, and you are not the operator. Why not take a critical look and evaluation of that? Could changes in ownership structure or shedding weight bring more revenue to you? These are questions. I don't want Mr. Selito to get my idea. You look at that. To catch the rabbit, you got to give a bait. What is taking them to Guyana? There's some incentive in it. Maybe favorable taxes. But instead of having to dig ground and build a city in Guyana, you already have the infrastructure to some extent here. So, negotiate. Give up some of the pork belly areas that Nigeria wants. I'd rather have 40% and you keep 60. If on the long run, it will give me the necessary incentive and the revenue that I need for an accelerated growth and recovery. You find a way to change the formula. There are certain things I know I can't say now. I am the first speaker. But just take it. If you want an omelette, you've got to break the egg.
Is one Adetayo, and I sit on the board of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group. I am a little concerned, and that's largely by the structural transformation that has eluded us for a while. For some time now, as a nation, we've been trying very hard to become a non-oil dependent, please pardon my voice, non-oil dependent economy. And you did mention even in your statement that agriculture will be one of the areas of focus. Beautiful as it seems, the more we've shifted away from oil into other sectors, we've moved somehow into low quality jobs with low wages. And the more we've moved into agriculture, the more wages have been vulnerable to shocks. And if you look and juxtapose against the kind of inflation we faced between 2019 and 2022, the implication is really that minimum wage has gone down from 30,000 naira to 19,000 naira in real terms. So my question is, you did promise that you will grow GDP per capita, that is for every single Nigerian, things should get better. What are the exact steps to be taken? And if you don't mind, in case I don't get another opportunity, can I ask a second question before waiting for the answer? The second concern is about our fiscal crisis. And as my colleague said, sir, if you succeed and win the election, you will be inheriting a deeply indebted nation. That's what you're going to be confronted with. Debt servicing to revenue at 123%. Interest costs, repayments, everything is crowding out spending on productive sectors. And it's the productive sectors that can rescue us. So, how will you begin to correct this situation? And we're very much interested in the exact measures that will correct our fiscal crisis. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me start with the non-oil dependent economy. I said agriculture. We have to move very, very rapidly to modernize and also commercialize our agriculture. Unlike the current peasant, agricultural model we have continued to, to practice over several decades. We just have to move to make sure that our agricultural sector is modernized and commercialized to the extent that, you know, our income from agriculture will be more than what is currently being achieved. Yeah, of course, another sector will be, you know, the ICT, which has been the greatest employer of our youth nowadays. And we have, you know, as you know, a youth, you know, unemployment threatening us in the face. So ICT will be one of those areas which I believe will move us away from oil dependency. Whether we like it or not, we have to move away from oil dependency because the world is moving to a green energy. So we have to make sure that other sectors of our economy receive the attention that they deserve. Yes, indebtedness. First and foremost, we have to virtually reduce or mitigate the thirst for continued indebtedness. We have to put a halt to it. And secondly, we have to negotiate with our creditors, our debts, to reschedule them, either to reschedule them or as we did before, to make sure that we got debt relief as far as our debts are concerned. Of course, we now move on to our fiscal processes, which we believe will have to be part of, I believe, because no nation, no country will give you a debt relief without negotiations. So in those negotiations, I believe the issue of the fiscal process will also be part of the debt negotiations.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Emmanuel Ijewere. Agriculture is my new life. So, Your Excellency, we know that you'll be President of Nigeria at the federal level. The federal government really does not own any agricultural land. They all belong to the state governments. The plan that you have to now develop agriculture and make it a more productive sector of the economy, how will you, as President of Nigeria, be able to get this done? What is the plan? Because when that time comes, you have a situation where you might have governors who are anti-federal government. How do you handle this? These are the realities we are seeing in front of us. Thank you very much.
So these things were actually already defined and in our own constitution. The reason why you have National Economic Council is that the federal government is supposed to meet monthly. You know, there's so many things that have gone wrong in this country. The federal government of Nigeria is supposed to meet monthly with all the governors to decide economically the way the country will go. And that their decision is supposed to be binding. That is why that while we were signatory to MDG, and part of implementing our MDG was the reason why our debts were cancelled. We didn't benefit anything from that debt cancellation because we're supposed to take all our MDG, streamline it into our development agenda, starting from national, subnational, and local government. The same way it is when, if you go to the same constitution, you find out that the governor is supposed to meet with all the local government chairmen monthly. But I can tell you, even in my own case, I don't think we met maybe once in 3 months. It's not even proper. Why? None of us even meet. Some local government chairmen not even meet their governor. You know, we were doing it monthly, but we found out, okay, it wasn't, we started doing it every quarterly. But it's supposed to be monthly. With that type of meeting properly implemented, I can assure you, no governor, anybody who says that governors might not oppose the president is not true. It is the president. I was telling somebody 2 days ago how a Lagos State governor spoke when he had an issue. And I was telling him, I said, can't you phone the president? don't the president talk to you? And I was so shocked. Under Yaradua, under Obasanjo, you can reach him. Under Yaradua, he calls every governor every month. He must call you, Mr. Obi. I think the state okay in your state. Is your state working? So there's no way you can have that, no matter which party. I governed Anambra State with 30 members. No, none of them is from my party. No local government chairman from my party. No senator. No House of Rep. And I work with them. It's a question of how you deal with it. Even Niger State governor told me who is now ready to give everybody land. But nobody can go there if there's no security. If you give somebody land where he will go and he will come back alive, will he go there? No. So I can tell you, the North is willing. They know it themselves. Whenever I talk about the vast land in the North, they know. And they are willing. And their communities are willing. Because you're not taking their land. You are saying, for example, we're doing ad growers. Am I right? The thing is that when you go, you don't see that thing they announce in TV. I'm sure you are involved with it. Nobody sees them on the ground. Everything they announce, SME support. I went to Aba, no SME got the law. I went to Newi, so I don't know. I went to Alaba. So I was wondering where the SMEs. I even went to Ghana, asked whether there's, but it's not. So the same thing is what they do, that growers, whatever they call them. But if you go where it's working, because all this is we learn it from somewhere else, before we bring it here, if you go where it's working, there's usually tied to a major facility, who is the miller, who now needs these people, who is actually the person they give the loan. But how can you go and give a senator money to go and give out grants and this disappears? So we're going to do it rightly. And it's not going to be done by government. We have a bank of industry. I've gone to other countries. These things are driven by the right process. All you do is to have a physical situation to support it, that the interest rate is low. But it must be done through a proper channel. What is the Bank of Industries celebrating? I saw when people came to celebrate, they brought the rice paddy in Abuja, which has never been done in any country in the world. And the rice people were celebrating the CBN governor instead of the Minister of Agriculture or Bank of Agriculture MD. They said, what has CBN to do with rice? So these are things, we do things properly. We'll get it to work.
So good afternoon, everyone. Standing on protocol. My name is Owen Omogiafo. I am the President Group CEO of Transcorp. It's a delight to be here today, and thank you, Dr. Jai, for the invitation. I am particularly pleased that you focused a lot on power, and you've talked about security, talked about oil and gas. So Transcorp, we have considerable investment in power, because in line with our purpose of improving lives and transforming the society, we recognize that power is what's going to actually catalyze the growth that we all seek across all the sectors, including what you said. In the past year, I've been Group CEO for about 3 years now. The past 6 months, thank you very much, sir. It was quite interesting because as we saw the challenges with the oil and gas sector, we've also been impacted. And to put this in context, Nigeria's power today comes mainly from the thermal and hydro. The thermal is actually 89%. So as we're having the issues with gas, coming from the challenges around the sector, from the oil theft, the vandalization, it's affected the business and affected that sector. It'd be nice to just get some more information. Yes, we don't want to give out your secrets. But for me, as someone who represents investors, because that's what Transcorp is about, we do further investment. It'd be good to get to know more about what we're going to do specifically in this space. Furthermore, of course, as a female and a female in leadership, I would also like to know some more about what we're going to do for more policies that would encourage, create an enabling environment for more female participation in key places. I'm not about token appointments. It's more around, I have the credibility, I have the credentials. And when I say I don't mean Owen, I mean the general female population, whereby we can have certain policies that will enable more women to play in the sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question of our oil sector, you will have identified the problem. Today, there's artificial intelligence, there's technology that can censor those areas of interventions, illegal interventions. Metering is another thing. Reform that is so critical. To me, having been in that industry before, I was the last person on the also condensate project. I separated it from OPEC countries. And Mobu made profit. Why are we commingling? And what is the problem that we are not today at a great advantage to compete with Russia on gas? Because we have not invested. We didn't put investment on long-term incentive to compete in Europe. Our gas is in the ground. It cannot turn to money until we push out there. What is the problem? Tax variations. The investors want lower taxes. I don't blame them. But I will grant you the lower taxes and take my deferred profit in the future. The deferred profit can be discounted. I'm turned to money today. As long as there's guarantee of no disruption and effective commitment to the sanctity of contract. Simple. I won't say more than that. I have a secret in my pocket.
Women.
And these are up. Okay. Up. Those are my advisors. So I'm living the life. And the young one, the Shem is okay. Shem is there. It's only yesterday you were not prepared to make this trip. And I said, you must meet me in Lagos. Create the pathway. Please have your seat. Create the pathway. Encourage them. Put the incentive there. The recognition. Yes, our mothers and sisters of those days, they would like to stay home to take care of babies and everything. That's their problem there.
Good morning, Waziri. My name is Bismarck Ruane. I'm a practicing economist. I have two questions very quickly. We're very happy with your programs.
Sorry?
I said we are very happy with your
programs. Thank you, Bismarck.
But the thing is that we haven't heard anything different from what has happened in the past. I would like you to focus a little bit on what are you going to do differently from what you did in the past and what the APC government has done recently. What are you going to do uniquely different so that we can have different outcomes? Two, that the Oxfam announced today that 1% of the world has over 70%, 66% of the global wealth. And let me make it easy. If there are 100 people in this room, one person has, and there are 100 pieces of meat, one person will have six pieces of meat, the other 10 will have 20 pieces of meat, and the other I'm saying the other 99, but at the bottom, 66 of them will have amongst themselves 10 pieces of meat. Yes, the world is growing, but the level of income inequality is such that just as you grow and the inequality increases, so the insecurity and the crisis increases. You mentioned that. You did say also that you would look at fiscal and monetary coordination. Are you willing to take the bold step of separating banking examination and supervision from monetary policy, which as it is done in the United States, in Germany, and recently in the UK? Because if you did that, you will find that the crux of your crisis today will be over. In other words, monetary policy will be that of an economist looking at economic policy only, while banking supervision and all the other things, shenanigans, can be kept under a different authority. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bismarck. What will we do uniquely different from what we have done in the past? You must also admit that what we did in the past was sufficiently at that point in time, successful. And we will look at our present predicament and see what would we need to do more to show that or to achieve a much higher success than what we achieve today, because it's a very dynamic situation, particularly when it comes to economy. Nothing, I don't know, economy and law. I mean, they the way, they are so dynamic and they change. So I believe we will look at that when we get there to see, what we can uniquely do different from what we did. I believe it has to be an improvement. I will insist on an improvement, certainly not, what we were able to achieve then. I will insist on an improvement because that's the hallmark of leadership. Secondly, separating monetary policy and banking policy, I believe is also a novel which we can introduce in our economy. We have to look at what effects, it will cause. Is it going to be positive or negative? And then before we can try to see if we can separate, because you are comparing us, with the advanced, economies of the world and vis-a-vis a developing economy in the third world. Well, income equality, I mean, definitely, I agree there is a problem of income equality even in this country, and we must strive to make sure that we minimize the gap. As well, wage increase, yes.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Adenike Adeyemi, and I'm the lead facilitator for the NESG's MSME Community of Practice. A number of the initiatives you've talked about in terms of driving the economic growth lie in also the ability to enable micro, small, and medium enterprises to do that. We just finished a 3-day retreat at the NESG, and one of the things we talked about was the right regulatory and policy environment. And a major issue, which you've also indicated in your manifesto, is streamlining and harmonizing taxes. And part of that issue is not just at the federal level, as you know, but also at the state level. So to date, an MSME has at least 40 taxes, a lot of them levies, and in some states and local government up to about 77. This is nothing new. Past administrations have talked about streamlining and harmonizing taxes across board. What are you going to do differently? Thank you.
Well, What I'm going to do differently is that I told you about the issue of streamlining development. The reason why we failed in MDG is that China today, the success of MDG, the example is China. We were signatories in year 2000 with China. But in 15 years, China used the same thing to pull 409 million people out of poverty. But you saw our own, the poverty increased. The reason, and if you go and read the documents of the debt forgiveness and everything, it was actually meant for implementation of the MDG. Because Obasanjo, who went around doing this, wherever he is asked, I've seen people in America tell me, when he came here, he said, we know what to do, but that we have a debt overhang. Even this debt can be forgiven. So that's what we preach. And because I was asking that question, because I wanted to know whether we can come again and say, forgive our debt. But from what they're answering me, I don't think if I go with that, I don't think anybody will listen to me. We have to find another story to tell them. Maybe that people are dying now. So, if we are streamlined it where from a national, subnational, and this, which includes the same thing, knowing fully well that the engine of growth in any economy is micro, small, medium enterprises. We should have been able to know how to support them. Today, that sector, they're on their own. No? Nobody cares for them, not even in terms of funding. If you look at our bank credits today, I might be the top chairmen and everything. They lend less than 5% of our entire credit to this sector. I wouldn't be up to 5%. 1%. You see what I'm telling you? In China, it's a law. 25%. In Indonesia, it's a law. I can show you countries have studied. Yeah. Nobody cares. In fact, they open the door and see them, they just chase them out. The banks, well, they don't have anything. They don't have their mother's house and brothers listen to bring for us. See? So that sector alone, in every economy, produces at least 50%. In China, 60% of the GDP, almost 65% of the employment. 60% employment in China is 514 million. That is 2.5 times our population, if not 3 times our population. And this sector, in terms of export production, it has gone to Bangladesh. It's women doing tiny things that are sewing these clothes, they're exporting. That made them to export more in clothing than we did in oil and everything. So, streamlining it, we're going to do it differently. And fortunately, my sister came from that sector. I'm a trader. I was a member of this NASC, but not as a research fellow, just as a trader. So I'm a trader. I came from there. The only place I live in my life, I say people, is Onitsha. And the only place I can live is Onitscha. Can't live any other place. That's the only place I live. Because why? It's the only place that I learn Nigeria. Anything I want to learn, I call people and say, that's why I said that all these things they do in TV don't work. Nobody in Onitsha receives any SME support. Transporters, they say they'll give it to transporters. After COVID, they have 10 billion for them. Not one transporter, not one. Put it on tape. Not one received 1 naira. They say 20 billion for, see all these things, they say trillion. They wrote here, the man wrote here. Nobody receives it. Quote me anywhere. Even me, donated money to it. I didn't get the receipt. I donated money in 3 countries. No, I'm being honest with you. I donated money in 3 countries during COVID. $2,000. In this country, I donated 20. No receipt. The other 2 gave me receipt. Me. Nobody even said thank you for donating $20,000. Being honest with you. So that thing they wrote in here is just in this TV that you saw it. Finish. Nobody got it. So this is what we do differently. it will go to where it's supposed to go. If it goes where it's supposed to go, your minister for humanitarian said they spent $7 billion. $7 billion fighting poverty in the past 5 years. That's 4.5 trillion. Each state will have gotten 100 billion. The difference is in implementation.